Hey, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris. I'm doing a 1,000-day vlog. Yep, 1,000 days, and I'm vlogging every single day. And I really appreciate if you could subscribe and follow along. That way we can share in this community together and we can, I don't know, exchange ideas. And I'm really loving your comments at the moment. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe would be excellent. Today, I'm going to be talking about dating. Yeah, I know. It's a tough one, isn't it, for a lot of people? And dating is contentious, I think, in 2024, soon to be 2025. The stuff I'm kind of seeing on the internet really is men are saying they've given up dating. They're not going to do it anymore. They stand to lose too much. And men who feel that way are adamant that they're not going to go back into dating because, you know, they stand to just lose an awful lot, like their pensions, their houses, their property. And women, I think, are saying that men are ghosting them, that men aren't bringing anything to the table. And when they do go out on dates, men just are so non-committal that it's not worth pursuing. And they're finding it frustrating. And so there seems to be, we've all heard the battle of the sexes, thing, but, there seems to be very much a battle of two sides here. You may have noticed that I'm a male, I'm a man, and I am single, and dating, from my experience previously, it's the meeting of two people who have a mutual sort of interest in life, who have a likeness for each other, who are fond of each other. And I think over time that relationship builds. Now, I think on average people tend to get married after about 3 years of being together. And that may entail living together in the meantime and spending an awful lot of time together. And there's that mutual desire of wanting to just share your life with that other person. And I think that in itself is a lovely place to be, isn't it? So dating, you've got to have the prospect of that in your mind, I think, when you go looking for a prospective partner. I mean, look, nobody gets married, nobody gets in with somebody wanting to sort of end that relationship. You don't go in it to end it. You go in it because you think, actually, this is something that's really nice, and it's actually adding to my life, not taking away from it. If it takes away from it, you've got to end that. But dating at the moment in 2024 is difficult, I think, for an awful lot of people. And I think there's maybe a couple of reasons for that. So on the man side, I think I'm not going to speak for every man, because I think every man's got his own point of view. But I think for my point of view, if you are looking to form a relationship with somebody, there needs to be almost this hidden checklist, doesn't there? So what do I mean by that? They need to be, I mean, at my stage of life, they possibly need to have a house, they need to have a job, they need to have some kind of stability in their life. I think for a lot of men, though, that wouldn't matter too much for, when they're looking for a partner for a woman. Because I think for men, this kind of acquisition happens naturally to them as they go through life. So if they met somebody who's maybe not in that fortunate position, that wouldn't matter too much to a man. I think it might be completely opposite for a woman. I think a woman would want to see a man of means who's got a pretty good job, earning an income. There's all these subliminal points that we need to sort of think about in our minds, about when we're dating. But dating itself is a complex prospect, isn't it? Especially today, because what you find is that, when you meet somebody initially, I think you decide early on, really, if you're going to have a second date. And then if you go for a second date and a third date and so on, then you think you might actually have found somebody that's worthy of being with. And and you just naturally follow its progression. Now, sometimes dating, it can fizzle out. It can end in nothing. And you've spent, a few weeks, maybe even 6 months together, and just realize this is not kind of what you're looking for and where it is. And I think for women, they need to feel, secure when they're with somebody. They need to feel that the man is a provider, that is somebody that's going to protect them, that's going to be there for them, that's going to look out for them, that's going to have their back. And, is going to be a potential father figure, you know, somebody who's going to help them raise a child. And dating brings about so much to the forefront of your mind. Now, I think if you listen to the likes of Shakespeare, he would have said that really it's the coming together of the mind and the heart. And so I think the two work in tangent when you're dating. And, you know, we are today in 2024, we very much have an online life as well. So we're bombarded with all these sexy images, these crazy images of people who look absolutely fantastic. So we go on these wonderful diets. We try to appeal to the opposite sex in a way that we think is the most viable way forward for us. And I think the pressure is more on women there than it is on men. I mean, look, as a man, what do? I have a shower in the morning, I have a shave, I brush my teeth, I'm done. You know, for women, the pressure on them to look incredible and, you know, perform incredibly is tough. It really is. I feel women do get a raw deal in terms of that. You know, and in terms of expectations, I think, you know, women, the expectation is that the man will provide, that will bring that to the table. But I can see an awful lot of stuff on the internet at the moment where men are actively saying, I'm sorry, but, you know, my wealth is my wealth and your wealth is your wealth. And, you know, I'm really wanting to protect that. But I'm vulnerable as a man if I start dating you, because if I date you and I have the potential then to lose that. So if men go on to have a child out of wedlock, you know, there's a chance that they have difficulty in remaining in the child's life. There's obviously a cost implication because of child maintenance. And, you know, and that's quite right. You know, if you are a dad, please, if you're listening to this, you should pay. You know, even if it's a little, you should do something. It's the obligation is there. And if you can be in your child's life, that's great. You know, that's great. And if it's made difficult, then challenge it at court. You know, we're all men here. We've got to be a man about all this. But going back to dating and the theme of dating, you know, so the expectation are on both sexes, you know. But when you meet somebody for the first time, when you first engage with them, isn't it nice when you really connect? You know, you have that moment where you think, actually, yeah. I mean, you see them first of all, and in your mind, subconsciously, you know, you've got to say to yourself, you know, am I attracted to them? Are they attracted to me? Is this something that, you know, has the potential? Because there has to be an attraction. And then when you get past that initial physical attraction, you've got to have that, mindset where, you know, that they're similar in interest to you, or they have characteristic traits that you admire, that you would like to be around, you know. And I think for me, you know, on a personal level, I love humor. I love somebody who can laugh at themselves and not take life too seriously. I think when you get to a certain age, though, dating is kind of tough as well. So that avenue of dating from, say, when you're in your 20s, going all the way up until, you know, I mean, I'm in my 50s. Try dating in your 50s. I think it's probably going to be very hard. I'm not dating at the moment. I am single. And, you know, I never say never. My mind is open to meeting somebody special and sharing my life with somebody special. And that may or may not happen. And I'm fine if it doesn't. And I'm fine if it does. But we all look for different characteristics in people when we are dating, don't we? Like I say, you know, we have to be attracted on the initial. I think men are very visual creatures. We like to feel that we are attracted to the person that we're going to spend time with, and I think the opposite sex feels that they need to feel, you know, more about the guy that they're dating. You know, there needs to be that emotional feeling connection, as well as, you know, I think humor is a big thing on the man's part. So if you can bring some fun to the table, if you can have some fun in a relationship, and I think that helps to create memories too. And it's such a wide topic, isn't it? Dating, you know. A quick story, I did go on a date once this was obviously quite a few years ago, but I did go on a date once. I met somebody, and in the first 5 minutes, I knew it wasn't conducive. I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. They started telling me about how much they hated their family, especially their mum, and how much they hated people, and how much they really connected more with animals than they did with people. It sounds brutal, I know, but I said, look, you know, I really do sort of respect that point of view, but I don't think we're going to connect on a relationship level. So, you know, I made my excuses and left in a very short space of time. And I just felt that it was the right thing to do, because I think sometimes you just know if you're going to connect with somebody. So dating is tough, you know, and I think the older you get, it probably doesn't get any easier. But it really concerns me, you know, looking at the internet, looking at how things are at the moment, you know, that women are feeling very much ghosted by men, and men are feeling very much vulnerable when they're going to go and enter a relationship, because the risk to men, as in losing their property, their means of you know, I mean, their house, their car, they could lose an awful lot. So yeah, I get the concern on both sides. I really do. But you know, if we don't date, if we don't have relationships with other people, I think we turn into robots. I think we turn into people that may not be happy on their own. But having said that, there are an awful lot of people that I know are very, very happy on their own and in their own skin. And I get that. Don't get me wrong. There's no right or wrong about this. If you're on your own and you love being on your own, I'm with you. But if you want to date, you know, things I think need to be somewhat easier. Maybe expectations need to change on both sides. But it's tough dating, isn't it? It really is. And if you are, you know, stuck in that position where you feel like you're being ghosted by men an awful lot, like you're making every effort to be in a man's life, but you're not getting very much back, you know, it might sort of say to you that you need to keep looking. And if a man is terrified of trying to seek a relationship because he fears the loss of all of his property, of the things that he has, you know, whether it's money or it's his house or his car or whatever, you know, if that fear is there, I would say, you know, continue dating, because you might actually meet somebody who actually, you know, isn't interested in that and is interested in you as a person. I think you need to understand that, you know, we're all human beings at the end of the day. We all have needs, and we all want to share, you know, certain experiences in life. You know, having children are an experience in life. Sharing family time is important, you know, and dating brings about all of that. So when you say no to all of that, you have the potential to lose that straight away. There's no coming back from it, and before you know it, you're probably too old anyway. Anyway, just some thoughts I thought I'd share. It's one of my longer videos, but dating is such an emotive topic at the moment. Have men given up? Have women given up? Let's hope for the future of humanity that there is some hope there. And if you are dating, I wish you all the very best. It's not easy, is it? It really isn't. So, yeah, I'll leave that there. As always, thank you so much for listening, watching, and I really appreciate you. If you're not subscribed, to subscribe would be great. And this is a daily vlog, so I'm back again tomorrow. Thank you as always. I really appreciate you. I'll see you then. Bye now.